Traveling by rail across the border is a convenient and safe way to get to Canada.
It's an opportunity to see some great scenery, but you're going to need to know some things that are not typical for traveling on the rest of the Amtrak system.
And the more you know about the requirements when crossing the border by train, the better equipped you'll be to facilitate your entry into Canada or the United States and contribute to the safety and security of our borders.
We have officers that are stationed at the borders. We have them at stations, platforms, right-of-ways.
Amtrak takes pride in that secure passage, but we don't do it alone.
Our international partners make it easy for us to have a secure environment crossing over the borders.
With our partners, Via Rail and border security officers on both sides of the border, the goal is clear. Intercept travelers or goods posing a threat to the health and safety of our countries and our people.
Hello.
Hi, I'd like to pick up my ticket.
Where are you heading to?
Toronto.
When traveling across the border, being prepared for your journey helps us keep you safe.
You're going to need documents to cross the border, a passport, enhanced driver's license, or a Nexus card.
Travelers can also use a U.S. passport card or global entry card for identification.
We're on our way to Canada right now.
Morning, ticket please.
And along that trip, our first line of defense is the conductor, who's in charge of your train.
As we walk throughout the train, at any time, something can occur just in the car that you just walked through. So often we let people know where we are at any time throughout the train. They can come and find us for any concerns that they have throughout the entire trip.
Amtrak police and their partner agencies are specially trained to see what you may not. But that doesn't mean we aren't counting on your involvement.
We ask our patrons to be another set of eyes and ears for us out there. We can't be everywhere. It could be the bags, it could be someone doing something wrong. It could be somebody along the right-of-way trying to trespass.
Amtrak police are asking you to be on the lookout for passengers who may be victims as well.
We are aware of victims of human trafficking being transported in trains domestically and in our contiguous countries too. If you see a person that seems to be lost, helpless, giving you a look of "I need help," and that person or persons are accompanied by an alpha person, a person that seems to be making all the decisions, carrying their identification, their documents, travel documents, passports and such, you might be looking at victims of human trafficking. Do not confront the trafficker. Do not confront the victim. Don't put yourself at risk. Take all the information, note, seat number, description, and then report that to local law enforcement, perhaps the train conductor.
Via train number 98 from New York en route to Toronto will be arriving shortly.
The cooperation amongst every agency is critical. It is a seamless exchange of information, and we always work very well with each other.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. We are now going to begin the Canadian customs process. Please gather
At the border, this is where the protocol changes from domestic rail travel. Whether traveling to Niagara Falls, Toronto, Vancouver, or any other Canadian destination, border security clearance procedures may differ, but the traveler obligations are the same. The key for passengers is to be prepared and be honest.
When the passenger arrives here in Canada, they may be asked to get off the train, and they will be asked to come inside the Canada Border Services office.
How are you?
Have your declaration card and your ID, please.
At that point, the officer will make a determination of whether you're admissible to Canada or not, and possibly take a look at what goods you have in your baggage.
While the passengers are being interviewed, the train is being examined by Border Services officers, possibly with detector dogs, all in an effort to protect the safety and security of the border. When you get back on board, the train is the same, the service is the same, but the staff is new.
When we cross over, we are releasing our control to Via Rail, which works in conjunction with Amtrak, and basically just continuing the customer service that we work hand in hand in doing.
The engineers talk to each other, conductors talk to each other. When I bring a train over to them, I tell them where all the passengers are on the train. If somebody may have a problem with a passport issue that I got notified late on.
Because of the interaction between the two nations, there's a close collaboration that the security never lapses, and that people can feel secure at any given time, that there's no breach in the security throughout the whole process, and relax and enjoy the trip.
The only difference is the crew, as far as service, etc. Nothing changes. Nothing changes.
When entering the United States, once again, knowing what to expect is key. U.S. Department of Homeland Security Customs and Border Protection, or CBP, makes it easy for you to be prepared.
What you can do is go to cbp.gov and go to the Know Before You Go section. In that section, there's a lot of information that'll pretty much answer any question that you may have. At the same time, there's a checklist there that you can follow to make sure you have all the required documents and necessary items when crossing the border.
When you're homeward bound, it's up to Customs and Border Protection to ensure your train and your trip is safe and secure.
A lot of times when you're crossing via the northern border, what will happen is when the train comes and it pulls up to the station, you'll be greeted by CBP officers. In the rail environment, you'll remain in your seat, and then CBP will get on board and inspect you while you're on the train.
The process when you stop at Niagara Falls is you'll get on a ramp and you go into the secured facility to start the process. They will go through all the paperwork on the declaration form of what you can and cannot bring into the States. They have the right to look into the bags. They may have canines there that may sniff the bags to see if there's anything as well. If there's anything that needs a secondary look, they will separate you from the regular people and put you in another room and continue there.
We've told you what to bring with you. Now let's talk about what to leave behind. Some items are obvious.
Check to make sure your purchases or items coming into Canada are not on a list of prohibited goods such as explosives, fireworks, and ammunition.
The United States also prohibits these items and limits others you can bring, such as the amount of money and alcoholic beverages. Prohibited items that travelers may not think of are agricultural products. These can pose a real threat. Fruits, vegetables, meats, and wood can harbor pests and invasive species that can dramatically harm U.S. agriculture. Don't bring them across the border. And again, check out the Know Before You Go section of the cbp.gov website for more information. Don't forget your role in this process, whether it's the Canadian side or in the States. Be aware of your surroundings.
We have a lot of processes in place to ensure security, but the help of the passenger is also a great tool for us, advising us as soon as possible if they see or observe anything that could be suspicious.
And by letting us know, our skilled crew can be better prepared to handle a situation.
I've been in law enforcement for about 20 years now, and a large part of law enforcement as well as conductor is to de-escalate a situation.
We all take great pride in making sure that the customer arrives at their destination safe.
And finally, if you see anything suspicious, don't be afraid to call Amtrak Police at 1-800-331-0008 or text us at APD11. That's 27311. Remember, security is in your hands too. Have a safe trip.